to the show and get into a little bit of the story here in just a moment. But many of you remember Online Trading Academy for a number of years. It was on our show and did our TV show with CBS and Mr. John Hinkle. And unfortunately, John passed away a couple of years ago. And just boy, very unfortunate, unexpected passing. And we are thrilled, though, to have the president of Online Trading Academy now in Denver, Josh Lilquist, with us. So, Josh, thanks for being with us today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for having me. I'm really glad we're back on the show and really helping people in Denver in the financial markets and the whole financial industry as a whole. So I'm really glad to be here. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I'm so happy because I'm telling you, had such a great relationship with John and Online Trading Academy, and I am personally thrilled because I know we did help a lot of people. And we're also here to announce, hey, a new show here on Fridays during our noon to 1 hour, and it is going to be with Josh and myself from time to time. But Investing and Trading Live, it will be here every Friday from noon to 1 right here on KLZ 560. So I hope you'll stay tuned and listen to those broadcasts as well. Well, Josh, let's let our listeners know a little bit about you, your family, where you're from, kind of how you got into being a president of Online Trading Academy here in Denver as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story. I grew up in Minnesota, kind of a northern part of Minnesota, small town, and it just probably like a lot of people listening too, just never really understood the financial markets. Nobody really talked about it growing up. Living in a small town, it's you did construction or construction, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And it's one of those things where it was one of those things I really wanted to get into, and so I got involved with Online Trading Academy about 8 years ago, and just really started. I got introduced actually to trading and investing from a friend at the gym that I worked out at, and he was a nice guy. He was talking about how he was trading and investing, and it just really intrigued me. And I always thought about it, just never really knew how to get started. Just like most people, it's like, where do you start?
Hmm.
What do you do? Where do you go? And stuff like that. So I kind of picked his brain, and he was kind of showing me a few different things on what he was doing. And we talked about trading a lot. We got into it a lot, and but I just still didn't really understand the markets. And quite frankly, he didn't really either. Now that I know more about it, and it's kind of crazy because that's what a lot of people do is people know a little bit and they try to help other people, but without the right education, what really happens is you're all in the dark. And without that, you're making the wrong investing decisions, and that's what had happened right away. And when I first got into the markets, is I didn't really know what I was doing, and you're kind of guessing and stuff like that. So I got involved with Online Trading Academy, as I mentioned, about 8 years ago, and I kind of just fell into it and started answering phones and stuff like that, and just really, it's been something that it was either sports or investing and trading, and obviously my sports career is done. That's been done a long time ago. You know how the knees go and the back go after a while.
Yes, I do.
But it was you know, one thing that I kept learning and getting into Online Trading Academy, and they really taught me a lot about how the market actually works, how it functions, whether it's trading as like a short-term income strategy or long-term wealth strategies. So just being around Online Trading Academy and the community has really helped me understand and start to navigate the financial markets much better.
Absolutely. And I tell you, again, just looking back at the years that we've spent with Online Trading Academy, um, it's such a, the first few times I went over and just kind of saw classes, just the environment of people, and it surprised me really just the variation of ages that were there, men, women, reasons why people were there. So take a minute and kind of tell us just a little bit about who comes to these classes, and we'll kind of talk about the classes here in a minute. But who's comes to these classes?
Yeah, so we have classes right here in Denver, and really, as you mentioned, all types of people come to these classes. really anybody that wants to get into the market. So we see people that have never traded before, have never invested before, and want to get started. Whether they're in their in the teens up to their 90s. I've seen people come into their 90s because it's never too late to learn how to trade and
Hmm.
invest, especially if you
Sure.
have a financial future that you want to build. Because as we're seeing right now with inflation, things are not getting any cheaper. So we see all types of ages, all types, whether it's males, females coming in. We're actually seeing a lot more females coming in lately because I believe a lot of the stats are showing more of the women are controlling a lot of the money. And so everybody really needs to understand how the financial markets work. So really, we see a whole basket of people that coming in. We have people come in that from a lot of construction workers come in to these investing classes at the academy. Um, doctors, truck drivers, nurses, really any profession. Because a lot of
Hmm.
people actually think, and you might think this too, is as you people think you need a financial education or
Yeah.
a financial degree to get in the markets. You actually don't. And that's what we really provide is education in these classes that we'll talk about later to learn how to get in the markets, learn how to do it safely, but also to do that confidently.
All right. If you're just joining us, Josh Lilquist is with us, president of Online Trading Academy here in Denver. I hope you'll join us now every Friday, noon to 1, for investing and trading live with Josh. And I'll be joining those from time to time as well. And we're just, as I mentioned in the opening, we are just thrilled to have online trading back with us. And I'm telling you, if you have been searching and trying to figure out what you can do for your financial outlook, I hope you'll give online trading a chance to earn your trust in your business. And that's what we're going to do through these shows, give you a chance to get to know Josh. And we're going to tell you about some classes here in just a few minutes. So, Josh, what are there characteristics that make up a good student for Online Trading Academy? I mean, what do you kind of look for or what you found that makes a good student?
Yeah, we really look for a few different things. And the first one would be being coachable because what we teach, it's nothing you're going to find online, the University of YouTube, all that garbage that's out there. By the way, just so our listeners know, be very careful with what you watch and what you listen to online. There's a
Yeah.
lot of, follow my strategy, you're going to make $1 billion tomorrow. It's not really realistic, right?
Hmm.
So you have to be coachable or willing to learn. And we actually have about 60 instructors at the academy, and a lot of them came from the floors of the exchanges. New York Stock Exchange, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, Chicago Board of Options, and that's who's teaching our classes. So you had to be willing to learn something a little bit different, right? Because if you think about this, most people struggle with their finances. I mean, I believe the stat is 5% of people are actually financially secure. And so you have to be willing to do things differently, not like the public. So you got to be coachable. Another
Right.
thing that you really need is you have to have discipline. So, for example, we have a step-by-step strategy to get in the financial markets. And I mean, just like if you're going to drive somewhere, if you have that GPS that's guiding you where to go, and if you don't follow that GPS, you're probably not going to reach your destination. So you have to be disciplined and follow a step-by-step process or a step-by-step plan, and just follow that to get to the decisions that you want to make in the financial markets. And the third one, which I actually think is probably the most important, is being decisive because in trading and
Hmm.
investing, you have to take advantage of opportunities. The old acronym or the word POUR. The definition of POUR is actually passing over opportunities regularly. So you have to
Wow.
take action when you have opportunities. When you have opportunities to buy something, you have to hit the buy button. We have the opportunity to sell it. You have to be able to sell it, and that really removes those emotions. So when you're coachable, learn a plan, you're disciplined, you follow that plan. All you got to do is be able to be decisive and click that button because that's a great thing about trading and investing is it's just a click of a button away. And we'll probably talk about that a little bit more in the upcoming segments here, but those are some of the characteristics that we're really looking for in people at the academy, and these can all be trained and coached as well if some people struggle with that.
Okay, great. Now, we've mentioned a class here. We probably have everybody on the edge of their seats these first 10 minutes. So, kind of tell us about the class and what folks can learn there.
Yeah, well, really, they can learn, I mean, a lot of things. It's about a 2 hour class. And these are physical classes at our academy right here in Denver. And what we teach is how the market actually works, how it functions, how to buy, how to sell. We get into all the different asset classes. Everybody knows stocks, which are a phenomenal asset to get into. There's other markets that are out there, when we'll kind of dive into these a little bit later. But you
Okay.
have the futures market, the forex market, you have the options market, and you even have the crypto market. That's a pretty hot topic these days. So
Boy,
we
for sure.
have education and content on all of them. There's leverage involved. There's different times of day. So that's a couple of things that we start the investing class off with is how the market works, and then these other assets that might be beneficial to other people because everybody has a different goal or objective. And that's another thing too is what is your goal? What is your objective in the market? And we try to discover that during this investing class and really kick that off to where you are now, where do you want to be, and then how do you bridge that gap?
Absolutely. So, how can folks attend?
Well, it's simple. We've made things really simple these last couple of years. Everybody likes ease. So we have a text in where people can text in and they're going to receive 2 tickets for an investing class. And these are classes, like I said, right here in Denver. And you also, when they text in and register for this class, by the way, it's free. They're going to receive a quick start kit, which actually has some information and content to help people get started right away. So they can text right now. So if you get your phones ready, you can text the word investing to the number 210 210. That's text investing to the number 210 210. And that's for 2 tickets. So most people actually bring their spouse or significant other, or a lot of people are actually bringing their kids in with as well. So we
Wow.
actually encourage that. We encourage family because they really don't teach financial education in
Hmm.
schools. They just don't do that, or even college. So we actually encourage that. So you can text the word investing to the number 210 210 for 2 free tickets for this investing class locally right here in Denver. So, Scott, a couple of things I want to cover on the next segment here. I want to get into some different income strategies that the markets, have people have the opportunity to get into, and these
Okay.
different assets that I had mentioned just recently with futures, forex, options. I want to describe those a little bit so people can see what those are and what are some of the opportunities for income strategies in the financial markets.
Great. Josh Lilkus was with us, president of online trading in Denver. Don't go anywhere. Leave it right here on KLZ 560, and we'll be right back. All right, perfect. Yeah, it sounds great, man. And like I say, take us, if you talk, as I told you earlier, 3 or 4 minutes and I don't say a word, I'm fine with that. So you just take the floor. So,
Okay, perfect. You didn't hear my bell, my timer went off in my ear. You didn't hear that, did
no,
you? Okay.
no, not at all. Yeah, yeah.